Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today I want to start by quoting former White House Chief of Staff under President Barack Obama, Rahm Emanuel. He said, and I quote, "You never want a serious crisis to go to waste. And what I mean by that is an opportunity to do things that you think you could not do before," unquote. The consequences of this could cut both ways. And on your screens today are visuals that show how dramatically different the outcomes could be. On the one side, we today saw India's Operation Sindoor outreach, ambassadors from various parties going across the world, returning from their successful mission abroad, fearlessly busting Pakistan's propaganda, speaking in one voice. On the other hand, the India bloc met to question the government, demanding a special session of Parliament to ask questions that have already been answered not once, not twice, but several times over. But before you tell you the details of how Rahul and company's operation politics continues, listen in to those who put patriotism above political ideology.
We can have our issues, we can have different ideologies, we come from different political backgrounds, and in Parliament we can have heated arguments. But when it comes to the case of India, we stand as one.
I have come here to speak for India, whoever speaks for India, and in whichever way they speak for India, whatever is said for India, we are here to support.
This is the time now for us to focus on our mission. Undoubtedly, in a thriving democracy, there are bound to be comments and criticisms, but I think at this point, we can't afford to dwell on them.
I mean, I might have differences with the ruling party. I am from All India Trinamool Congress, but I represent India here. I will not let my political interests come in the way of my national interests.
You heard voices that went beyond partisanship to do things that they could not do before. In contrast are those who look for upscale in every apda. Leaders of 16 opposition parties wrote a letter to the Prime Minister seeking a debrief on Operation Sindoor and developments after April 22nd attack, accusing the centre of keeping legislators and parliamentarians and lawmakers and the public in the dark while briefing the world.
कि देश की सरकार अलग अलग दुनिया की राजधानियों में अपनी बात रख रही है, तो देश की संसद के सामने भी सारी बात रखे।
अगर प्रेसिडेंट ट्रंप से कहने से आप युद्ध विराम कर सकते हो, तो देश की जो मुख्य अपोजिशन पार्टी के कहने से आप स्पेशल सेशन क्यों नहीं बुला रहे हो?
आप सारी दुनिया को तो बता रहे हैं, लेकिन संसद को और संसद के माध्यम से हिंदुस्तान की जनता को अंधेरे में रखना चाहते हैं। एक देश भी खुलेआम हिंदुस्तान के समर्थन में नहीं आया, ये चिंता की बात है।
But those who repeatedly failed to unite behind the country and forces could not even do so while gunning for the government. Aam Aadmi Party skipped the meeting due to differences with the Congress Party. Sharad Pawar's NCP has not signed the letter. DMK is among the signatories but did not join the meeting, citing Karunanidhi's birth anniversary, even as their representative Kanimori spoke about unity amongst all political parties when representing India. Another key figure missing in action was, of course, Mr. Rahul Gandhi. He chose to attend a party convention in Madhya Pradesh. You may think it is not significant since others from his party were in attendance. But when the India bloc calls for a special parliament session, don't you think the leader of opposition should also be present? But skipping the meeting is not the only reason why we are asking questions of Rahul Gandhi. Listen in to yet another proof of how a national crisis is just a political opportunity for the Congress party.
जैसे उधर से ट्रंप ने एक इशारा किया, फोन उठाया, कहा मोदी जी क्या कर रहे हो? नरेंद्र सरेंडर और जी हजूर करके नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने ट्रंप के इशारे का पालन किया। फोन उठाया, कहा मोदी जी क्या कर रहे हो? नरेंद्र सरेंडर और जी हजूर करके नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने ट्रंप के इशारे का पालन किया।
What does this actually show? That not only will the Congress party ignore, deride, insult its own leaders, who as part of Indian delegations have presented the truth, it will also dismiss the facts listed by the Indian Army, the Defence Forces and by Chief of Defence Staff General Anil Chauhan. Because this is what the CDS had said just hours before Rahul Gandhi's surrender raga.
Operation which they thought they'll continue for 48 hours folded up in about 8 hours. And on 10th, when they picked up the telephone and said they wanted to talk, they must have assumed that if they continued this mode, they're likely to lose much more. So hence they picked up the telephone.
Since Team Rahul Gandhi has chosen to turn a deaf ear to its own party members like Salman Khurshid, Shashi Tharoor, Manish Tiwari, Anand Sharma, to the DGMOs, to the Foreign Secretary, to the External Affairs Minister, and in the latest, to the Chief of Defence Staff, here's a fact check of how all the reasons that the opposition gives for justifying their demand for a special session are irrelevant. The letter to the Prime Minister says government has only briefed foreign nations, but topmost generals have spoken on Operation Sindoor. External Affairs Minister has himself briefed Parliament's consultative panel on external affairs. India bloc alleges legislators have been kept in the dark, but all they need to do is just speak to their partymen who were fully briefed before being sent to the global missions, as well as those parliamentarians who are part of the external affairs consultative meeting. Opposition also claims that people of India have also been kept in the dark. But as I already have stated, from ministers to forces, the nation has been kept abreast of every single development. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings me to the Motorola legitimate question that we're asking on the Newshour tonight. Even when it is a matter of the country, is unity not the language of the India bloc? That's the question, and that's the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Joining the debate tonight in our studios, Shehzad Poonawala joining me in the studio, national spokesperson of the BJP. Also joining me this evening, Patabi Ram Komareddy, national spokesperson of the TDP, Waris Pathan, national spokesperson of AIMIM, Dr. Piyush Joshi, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, Faizan Kidwai, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. But my first question goes to Congress leader Ashwini Kumar Mishra with me in our studios tonight. And Ashwini Kumar Mishra, straight one question that Rahul Gandhi has been going on and on and on about. Kitne fighter planes gire? Number 2 question is, Narendra surrendered. And I'm asking you, do you want to count the losses that India has made? Is there a logbook that you want to provide to the world? And number 2, if you're saying that India has surrendered, are you saying our defense forces have surrendered and lost the battle with Pakistan? What is Mr. Rahul Gandhi trying to say?
Rahul Gandhi is repeating what Trump has been saying, and he is a visionary leader and he understands the importance of the issues Donald Trump is raising. It is about the national integrity and national security. Donald Trump has been telling that he pushes Indian government to do the ceasefire. Do you think it is not an important question which should be answered by Modi ji, because he has been the great friend to him? He is the one who did Namaste Trump and Howdy Trump. It is an important question, and Pakistan issue has always been a bilateral issue. A third nation coming and claiming that because of us, that ceasefire happened, and government is not countering that itself is an important question for the nation's integrity. That stand was very much clear right from the beginning. Even Vajpayee ji has made very clear stand on that. So what Rahul Gandhi is telling is, in probably a poetic manner, is what
Narendra Surrender is poetic. Saying that the army of India has lost is poetic for you. I'm asking you again, Narendra Surrender saying that the Indian Defence Forces have lost or surrendered is poetry to you? Is that poetry to you?
He clearly said that he got a call from Donald Trump and asking to surrender, and he did that. That is what Trump is saying.
You are factually incorrect because there was no conversation with President Trump, and that is something that the government has said on several occasions. But Shehzad Poonawala, poetry. Narendra Surrender is poetry to the Congress party. I rest my case. The rest clearly superfluous.
No, it is poetic justice actually that Rahul Gandhi thinks that surrender Desh ki Sena ne kiya. Actually, Rahul Gandhi is a blunder. He is a blunder. And therefore, he makes all these kinds of statements. There is a triple R in Congress. Ramesh, Revant and Rahul. And the triple R has got SMS. Navika, you know what is SMS? S for Salman, M for Manish and S for Shashi. This SMS has told राहुल गांधी वैसे उनको विदेशी चीज़ों में ज़्यादा भरोसा है, विदेशी नेतृत्व में भी, विदेशी लोगों में भी, ये ठीक है. Same Rahul Gandhi about 1 year ago was going to America and saying US, UK should intervene on a democracy. The same Rahul Gandhi, he is the one who has time and again undermined India's Sena. Now he is saying this, but he should listen to SMS. SMS has said that DGMO Pakistan called India. There was no call from India first. There was no mediation, but he does not believe them. He is believing Trump. The same Trump who has also said there's no mediation by me. It was a madad I have done, but I have not done the mediation. But he does not want to take that statement. He does not want to believe the MEA. He does not want to believe the DGMO. I'll quote the dates on which the government has countered this claim by Donald Trump. 10th May, 12th May, 22nd May, and every single day after that. But since you are very inquisitive about surrender, Ashwini ji, 1948 when we took Kashmir to international platform, that was surrender. When we gave up POK, that was surrender. In 1950s and 60s when we gave up Aksai Chin and UNSC seat, that was surrender. In 1960s when we were ready to give away partial of Jammu Kashmir, that was surrender. 1968, after 1965 war, we were giving up 828 square kilometers to Pakistan, that was surrender. 1971 when the armed forces won us the battle, 93,000 soldiers of Pakistan, 15,000 square kilometers was handed over without taking POK, that was surrender despite Babu Jagjeevan Ram. 1974 Indira Gandhi said, I will give away my nuclear technology to Pakistan, that is surrender. 1980s Ronald Reagan telling Rajiv Gandhi what to do and how to talk to Pakistan, that is surrender. 1990s saying that we will give the advance information of troop movements to Pakistan, that is surrender. Finally, 1994 Narasimha Rao did not do the nuclear test and it was Vajpayee ji who came and then did the test under US pressure. You did not do the test. This is called surrender. Now finally I want to ask you a question. Today look at the questions they are asking. One question has come that Bhagwant Maan is saying one nation, one husband. This is the insult of Sindoor. You have insulted our Sena, you have insulted the women, and you have also insulted the for the delegation visit when the people are being called as terrorists by Jairam Ramesh. Secondly, they are talking about special session. Special session, Navika ji, do you know that in the 26 members are there in India Alliance, only 16 have signed it. Sharad Pawar has not signed it. Why? Is he against the special session?
Absolutely. The Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi has not even attended it. And Dr. Piyush Joshi, I want to ask you the question. Why would Bhagwant Maan, Sanjay Singh use atrocious word? Has the word, just like Narendra Surrender, becomes poetry for the Congress party? One nation, one husband is a joke? Is a joke to the Aam Aadmi Party? Is Sindoor, which is the symbol for a married woman and treated as literally absolutely holy for them, has that become a butt of jokes?
Well, let me tell you what is a joke, Navika ji. the joke is that one of the leading Hindi dailies published this article saying that the Bharatiya Janata Party is planning a Ghar Ghar Sindoor Abhiyan and the BJP Karyakartas are going to distribute Sindoor, and BJP took 2.5 days to refute that claim. Normally what happens if a leading daily or a leading news channel publishes a news or broadcasts a news, the Bharatiya Janata Party with all its forge of pravaktas, refutes that claim in half an hour or 1 hour at the max. So you are refuting that claim after 2 hours, and that is what prompted, because in Hindu culture, any woman will only accept the sindoor from her own husband and no one else, and that is why Bhagwant Manji made that comment that he had. Having said that, why Aam Aadmi Party did not attend the meeting or skip this meeting? Because Aam Aadmi Party is still a national party according to the Constitution of India, and our opinion is formed by what is the popular opinion and what is the right opinion of the people of this country, what is the opinion of the Aam Aadmi of this country. That is why we stood behind the government when the Operation Sindoor was ongoing. Now, having said that, we still believe that our foreign policy has been thrown out of window when it comes to most nations across the world, and I have my reasons to believe that. Just give me 30 seconds and I'll explain. Prime Minister Modi has visited almost 125 nations in last 10 years. But his personal bonhomie, his friendship, that so-called friendship, where is it? Because everywhere the foreign policy has gone for a spill, and it has to be mopped up by the parliamentary delegation. Why Operation Sindoor was done in the first place? It was in response to a barbaric and a heinous crime against humanity, which was done by the instigation of ISI and the army of Pakistan. For that, you have to send delegations to manage the perception. What your foreign minister has been doing, what your foreign secretary has been doing, what your ambassadors have been doing all over last 10 years. What the prime minister has been doing. You
do not want to beat the false narrative of Pakistan, and you are now questioning the delegation. You do not want to sign the letter that the opposition parties have signed because you have a separate. You don't know the matrix of unity even within the India alliance. Forget to stand up for the country. Shehzad Poonawala, 30 seconds, please respond.
Now let me address one by one. Sir Piyushji, you have spoken. It is my turn to address some of the questions you have raised. Let me raise one by one. Piyushji, this is not the way the debate can take place. You have spoken your piece. Navika has called me.
Agreed. Just a brief comment because Navika misquoted me.
अरे भाई, you brief comment में मेरा काहे नुकसान कर रहे हो भाई? Navika will give you the time. Navika.
Okay, all right. Heard you.
Navika, now he has said that some newspaper made a claim, which by the way all spokespersons including me had condemned on the first day itself, but because some people have Ghar Ghar Sharab Yojana, they feel everything is Ghar Ghar. Anyways, Bajwa has said months ago that after 8 PM no CM and no response has come from Aam Aadmi Party till date on that comment. Bajwa has said this. So should we then believe that Bajwa is right and after 8 PM there's no CM in Punjab? Anyway, let me complete. Don't get agitated. By the way, Piyushji, you have now, I'm seeing you have won. Sir, I have not interrupted you, sir. Please. You have now won the official Aam Aadmi Party colors. Sir, may I just request you with folded hands, sir, are you from Raghav Chadda faction or Atishi Maar Lena faction? Because Atishi Maar Lena has said that Pakistan आ रहा, इसका कोई प्रमाण नहीं, पाकिस्तान ने स्वीकारा नहीं है. राघव चड्डा तो जाकर बोल रहे ऐसा धोया है, न्यू नॉर्मल सेट कर दिया. तो कौन सा फैक्शन से जरा हमको बता दो, क्योंकि यहाँ पे भी आरआरआर और एसएमएस फैक्शन है. एनीवे, थर्ड पॉइंट आई विल कम ऑन टू. नाउ यू हैव सेड दैट, वन सेकंड सर, आई एम जस्ट आस्किंग यू वन क्वेश्चन. You believe the parliamentarians have gone abroad and they have kept India first? Those parliamentarians have said that there is no mediation by Trump. Do you believe them? Yes or no? Is Tharoor lying? Is Mr. Salman Khurshid lying? Is Mr. Raghav Chadda lying? Is Ms. Supriya Sule lying? Is Kanimojhi lying? Please answer that question. Okay, yes or no. And you know what is surrender? What? One second. Sir, I have not interrupted you. One last point. One last point. Sir, I have not interrupted you. One last point. You know what is surrender? Navika, just one last time. Telangana Congress chief has said surrender before the Naxals, ceasefire kar do. When the Naxals are getting wiped out, today they have said, today it has been said.
They are not Naxals anymore. They are Maoist terrorists, and that is called a surrender when you seek for a ceasefire.
They are asking that surrender. They are telling that if you can have words with Pakistan, if you can do ceasefire with Pakistan, probably you need to have word with people internally you are fighting with. Ashwini. That's what.
Which DGMO has announced this? Which DGMO has announced
you're claiming?
There is no ceasefire. There is no ceasefire. It's cessation of hostilities temporarily. That is the statement that has been made by the Indian Army. But Waris Pathan, I want to ask you in a special session of Parliament, and I today salute Asaduddin Owaisi Sahab for the manner in which he's held India's head high in the delegation that he went for and has returned today. I compliment him not only because he's a great orator, but the fact that he wears India on his sleeve, not really only his political considerations. And that is something that Mr. Rahul Gandhi probably needs to learn from Asaduddin Owaisi. Do you believe, Waris Pathan, Narendra surrendered actually doesn't mean that the army surrendered? And therefore, should Rahul Gandhi apologize for the statement at a time when the defense forces have shown exceptional valor as well as technical precision in the manner in which they brought Pakistan to their knees?
Well, Navika, first and foremost, let me congratulate the MPs who were part of the delegation who went abroad all over the world and they exposed Pakistan beautifully and they thrashed Pakistan, and the entire world had seen that what Pakistan's intentions were. And yes, I am very much happy to a party president who was part of the delegation has today reached Hyderabad. And many congratulations to every MPs who have been there. And we could show the world that what Pakistan is usually doing for India, how they are sponsoring terrorism, and the victim is India. We have been seeing this since last long. We saw Pulwama, we saw earlier we saw Pahalgam. Now the world is seeing and watching that when India becomes together, when everybody comes shoulder to shoulder, when every political leader leave the ideology of his party politics and join hands together to stand for India, when it comes for national security, then nobody can touch India. We are Indian first, nation first. This is what the world has seen. And apart from having different ideologies, see, our party president was from MIM, the other was from Congress, somebody was from the Samajwadi Party, and everybody, they went there in one note, one tone, everybody made a statement that, okay, we have come here for a particular purpose and we are successfully explaining to the people abroad that, yes, how we are victims, and that is a success. Nobody should do politics on this. See, we have seen that when 140 crore people unite together in our country, then what is the scene like? Everybody in the world is now praising that, yes, okay. Now, earlier they were saying, no, Pakistan ke saath aisa ho, aisa ho. No, now they know that India is a victim and Pakistan was the aggressor. That is, everybody now knows in all over the world. So, but lekin hamare yahan pe politics isko nahi karna chahiye, Navika. Let me tell you very frankly, this is not the way. Because the person who fought for Pakistan, our Jawans, our army, they did not fight for BJP or the MIM or the Congress. They fought for the India. They fought for our beloved country, Bharat. So if we are raising any kind of questions, it is an insult to them. But here one more question is that we live in democracy, follow the constitution. And in the constitution, democracy, it is given right to the opposition that if they want to ask certain questions, then yes, very well, the government must reply to them. The opposition wants 2 days, 3 days sessions of the parliament.
Should they ask the question on how many Indian fighter jets have been damaged? Is that the question that is going to show their patriotism?
That, no, that the DGMO is very well clarified. We must believe what they say. See, the DGMO is very well clarified.
Ashwini, that is the question Rahul Gandhi is asking. Now, even in Asaduddin Owaisi and his party's book, that is not a patriotic question. I want to ask you, Waris Pathan, Narendra surrender, does it mean that this is making a joke out of the Indian Army and the Indian Defense Forces achievements? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Well, this question you should ask the Congress spokesperson.
No, but I'm asking you.
I'm not a spokesperson.
I am asking you.
Rahul Gandhi for that.
How do you look at this statement? Narendra surrender.
Navika,
is it right or wrong?
Spokesperson is very much present in your studio. He is capable of replying to you. Answer why you.
But I'm asking you. Have you lost the capability of making a distinction between right and wrong? Is Rahul Gandhi's statement right or wrong? 1 minute, I'm asking Waris Pathan.
Well, the statement given by the DGMO, I go along with that. I stand with the country and I stand with our brave soldiers. And I don't ask questions if any questions are to be asked, but the opposition has a right to ask questions.
Of course you have the right to ask, but timing and what kind of questions are important, and therefore, Ashwini, I ask you once again, should Rahul Gandhi apologize for Narendra Surrender, because is that not bringing a cloud on the performance and the achievements of the Indian Defence Forces?
Navika ji, this has been repeated multiple times, and I'm again reiterating. Asking question to the government is not asking question to the armed forces.
Surrender.
They are different.
Narendra Surrender,
entities.
which you called poetry. Which you called poetry.
I did not call it poetry. I said he said in a poetic manner what Donald Trump has been. What Donald Trump has been claiming. What Donald Trump has been claiming 3 times, and government has not countered it.
Donald Trump is not an Indian.
No.
Is Rahul Gandhi an Indian or not?
Is Donald Trump irrelevant to India?
And parroting what Donald Trump is
Donald Trump irrelevant to India? Is Donald Trump irrelevant to India? If a US president says something and our government doesn't counter, who should held responsible for that?
Well, let me get in.
One last thing.
Let me get in Kumar Reddy ji. Kumar Reddy ji, Donald Trump is being quoted, but not the DGMO, not the Chief of Defence Staff. What do you think of Rahul Gandhi's statement where he says, Narendra Surrender? Does this not put aspersions on the Indian Defence Forces and their achievements? Mr. Kumar Reddy. I think we have an audio issue with him.
See, I completely agree. Ashwini ji has said that Sena and Sarkar are 2 different entities. Then my dear friend Ashwini, Indira ने 2 टुकड़े किए, Sam Manekshaw ने. क्यों बोलते इंदिरा को याद करो? Now let me complete. Don't interrupt. Secondly, surgical strike was announced by whom, Navika? 2016 you were covering DGMO. Who said Khoon ki dalali? Please, sir, don't interrupt. I did not interrupt you. Ashwini, I did not interrupt you. I have been a gentleman in this debate. Ashwini, I have been a gentleman in this debate. I requested you.
1 minute. Ashwini, allow him to make his point. Counter time will be given.
Balakot airstrike was done by the Air Force. Air Force chief came and said, what was the statement given by Congress leaders? Cheel kauve mare. Proof kahan hai? And final, Navika, this will burn your heart, Navika. You know, because you have covered parliament. You know, between 2004 and 9, when their first UPA government came, Kargil Vijay Divas was not celebrated. And you know, the Rashid Alwi, who was the MP, was asked. He said that because this is BJP war, you have reduced the distinction between army and personality, not us. You have said Indira is India, sir. So I ask you with folded hands, not 10 seconds with folded hands. On a day when Pakistan dossier, you know, Navika, Pakistan dossier on which Rahul is often seen, has said not 11 but 19 bases were actually destroyed. So totally we have hit 28 targets, including the terror camps. Shahbaz ने 2 बार बोला फजर की नमाज से पहले स्विमिंग के बाद ऐसा वैसा हो गया, पाकिस्तान में सब कांड हो गया. तो he has said it twice. But despite that, look at the questions they're asking. I just have one last question. Is Tharoor a liar when he says that the interference wasn't there by Trump?
Navika ji,
simple
first
question.
You said so many things. Let me speak about that.
Nobody is also waiting, so please respond
just
to
give
the
me 20
question.
seconds. First of all, we never questioned what is done to the Pakistan. We never questioned the valor of our army forces. Don't do that. Surrender is what we are quoting the Donald Trump. We are telling Donald Trump said this. Donald Trump is something you have to answer to Donald Trump. This is something you have to answer to the US president.
But that has been clarified umpteen number of times between May 10th and today. Why won't you believe? Why do you believe only Donald Trump? And I want to get in Faizan Kidwai. Faizan Kidwai, Narendra Surrender, does this actually do injustice to our defense forces? I ask you a point blank question.
Good evening to you and to the fellow panelists. So Navika, replying exactly to what you have asked me, Navika, in 1962, after the Chinese war, there was an event which was organized, and there was a poet, Ramadri Singh Dinkar, and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was also in that event. This was a Hindi poet. So he recited a poetry where he criticized Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, even to the extent of calling him maybe anti-national. But Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru listened to him gracefully and in a very democratic spirit. There was no action against him and he wasn't called an anti-national. Similarly, when the war was still going on, Atal Bihari Vajpayee asked for a special session to be convened, and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru obliged. There was a special session. There was a very, very strong questions were asked to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Nobody said that Atal Bihari is a Chinese agent or is doing something anti-national. You know what, Navika? In democracy, questioning the government is not treason. The treason happens in democracy when you stay silent. So a lot of people whose job is to question the government, when they are silent, they are doing something which is anti-national. See, Navika, what is happening today? Just see, the cross-border terrorism has increased. And since Shehzad Poonawalla is very fond of giving acronyms, and he's talking about something SMS. So Shehzad Poonawalla, you should know that this collective arrogance and incompetence of your jam, and I'm sure you can decipher who these people are, JAM, decipher that. Because of them, we have been lost our global support. Not only our Quad partners have alienated us, but even Israel and France, they didn't name Pakistan directly for spreading terrorism in India. Canada has excluded us from G7 summit. This is an insult to India. Under this jam, our relations with our neighboring countries like Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, all are strained. Pakistan manages to get 1 billion from IMF, and it has World Bank has pledged 20 billion again to Pakistan. Apart from that, the Trump-owned WLFI company has signed an MOU with Pakistan Crypto Council now. Pakistan has new route to do money laundering and terror funding in India. What you people have done, you have failed diplomatically. Under this Prime Minister of yours, Pathankot happened, Amarnath Yatra attack happened.
Faizan Kidwai, under this Prime Minister of yours, is he our Prime Minister or is he only the BJP's Prime Minister?
Navika, this is not important, please.
No, why is it not important? My friend, why is it not important? Narendra Surrender not important if the army is being shown down. Your Prime Minister not important. What is important?
Navika, do you agree what Mr. Dinkar said to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, the architect of modern India? Was he an anti-national? Kindly answer my question.
I am asking you the question, Faizan Kidwai. This Prime Minister of yours, the disdain with which you say it, I want to ask you, is he the nation's Prime Minister or is he a party's Prime Minister? No, I will ask the question that I want to ask you.
No, you can't. Go ask the question to Narendra Modi. He's the Prime Minister. You're constantly
What do you mean by your Prime Minister? आपका प्रधानमंत्री कोई और है क्या?
मेरा प्रधानमंत्री
Who do you believe is your Prime Minister, Faizan Kidwai? Who do you believe is your Prime Minister, Faizan Kidwai?
My Prime Minister, unfortunately, right now is Mr. Narendra Modi.
So then why are you saying? What do you mean by unfortunately? No, it is a democratically elected government. People of this country have voted for him. For you it is unfortunate because you continue to be in the opposition.
I register my protest, Navika.
You register your protest. But if you made a mistake in the manner in which you made your expression, I'm not responsible for that. But Mr. Komareddy, Faizan Kidwai says, the Prime Minister unfortunately happens to be Modi. He is this Prime Minister of yours. Rahul Gandhi says Narendra Surrender. Do you think this is the moment where they are actually standing up for the country, or are they casting aspersions not only to the military forces but also to the man who's leading the nation in this tough hour?
Navika, I can only say that it is the country's misfortune to have a person like Rahul Gandhi leading the opposition today. The kind of utterly irresponsible statements that he had made, he had totally undermined the defense forces. Our army Jawans who had laid down their lives to protect our country, to protect the citizens of this country, his statements today have totally undermined the defense forces. He should apologize. Rahul Gandhi should apologize to the nation for making such irresponsible comments. What kind of surrender is he talking? Is it not the Gandhi family who's responsible?
Made by Donald Trump
where
that he called Narendra Modi and said, please surrender and we put the ceasefire,
I've been listening very patiently.
I think you need to hear the entire statement and put a context.
He's come in. There was an audio problem. He's come in late. 1 minute, Ashwini ji. Allow him to make his point. Allow him to make his point. No. Please, cut the fader and Komar Reddy ji. Please complete your point.
It is the Gandhi family which is responsible for the creation of POK. It is they who are responsible for the creation of Aksai Chin and many other things which my friend Shehzad had listed out. So what should we say to them? And is it not Rahul Gandhi, if I remember correctly, a couple of years ago in 2023, when he was in Britain, United Kingdom, he was asking the US and the Europe to intervene in the internal affairs of India.
That is not surrender. That is not surrender, Ashwini.
Not internal affairs of India. The kind of communism happening in India.
He said democracy is in danger. Protect the democracy. Did he not say that, Shehzad?
40 crore people. India is a secular country.
One second.
Is it not democracy?
One second, Navika. 1 second. Ashwini just said that he wanted to actually say that India is becoming communal, so intervene. Is that a valid?
No, I'm telling in India.
Let me complete. I do not interrupt you. Let me complete. Let me complete.
Okay.
You just claimed that Rahul Gandhi went abroad, did ask for intervention because it's a communal atmosphere. So America will now lecture us. That America which can't have any non-Christian president will lecture us. Okay. Then now let me complete. Now let me come to Mr. Faizan Kidwai.
Only be rhetoric.
Faizan Kidwai जी एक करके हमने तो सरेंडर कर दिया जी 26/11 के बाद नाविका जी क्या धुआंधार एक्शन हुआ आपको पता है 800 लोग मारे गए अलग अलग टेररिस्ट अटैक्स में 26/11 के बाद और मनमोहन सिंह जी जो है मोस्ट फेवर्ड नेशन स्टेटस देकर आए फली मेजर ने नाविका को एक ने अनेकों बार इंटरव्यू दिया है क्या बोला फली मेजर ने ही वाज वेरी हैप्पी ना विद द एक्शन टेकन मैम I think he has said that. Okay. Anyways, मैं ही मिसकोट कर रहा हूँ.
2 weeks after 26/11, the Air Force was standing in a complete situation of readiness. They never got the order.
नहीं नाविका मनमोहन सिंह went and said बलूचिस्तान में हम आतंकी हमला करते. That is not surrender.
Yes, that
is blunder. Anyway, now last point. ये फैजान भाई आपने क्योंकि रामधारी सिंह दिनकर जिसको मैं राष्ट्र कवि जिनको कहता हूँ वो उनको कोट किया उन्होंने रश्मि रथी लिखी रश्मि रथी वाज रिटन ऑन महाभारत पर महाभारत में ओरिजिनल कोट है कि परस्पर विरोधे तु वयम पंचशते शतम परायस्तु विग्रह प्राप्ते पंचाधिक शतम मतलब कि हम 100 बना 5 तो जरूर है पर जब एक्सटर्नल थ्रेट होता तो हम 125 है ये ओरिजिनल महाभारत से मैं कोट कर रहा हूं युधिष्ठिर का ये संवाद है कौरव से मैं 10 सेकंड सुनिए 10 सेकंड राजीव राय को मैंने नहीं मैं तो उनको माननीय सांसद बोलता हूं उनको आतंकी की तुलना किसने की जयराम रमेश ने वो वहां पे घूमने गए थे या भारत की बात रखने गए थे
फैजान Kidwai. Ashwini ji, your name is not Faizan Kidwai. Faizan Kidwai will speak.
Right. तो शहजाद आप मुझे जो अभी आपने इतना सारा बताया तो जब दिनकर साहब ने पंडित जी के बारे में जो अपनी शब्द बोले उनका पूरा हक था इन डेमोक्रेसी पीपल हैव द राइट टू स्पीक एंड क्रिटिसाइज द प्राइम मिनिस्टर बिकॉज द प्राइम मिनिस्टर इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर व्हाटएवर गुड और बैड हैपेंस एट दैट टाइम समथिंग अनफॉर्चुनेट हैपेंड एंड ही हैड ऑल द राइट Atal Bihari had all the right, but nobody called him anti-national. और दिनकर जी, no action was taken. आज होता तो मोदी साहब ने उठा के अब तक जेल में भर दिया होता, है ना? CBI, ED आ गई होती. जरा आप ये भी बता दीजिए, जो हमारे आर्मी
पैरागॉन ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी ना रुक जाइए.
आप बोल रहे थे.
उन्होंने तो मुलायम सिंह यादव को जेल डाल दिया. लालू की बेटी का नाम ईसा पड़ा.
जब आर्मी, जब एयरफोर्स चीफ कहते हैं कि एक भी प्रोजेक्ट कंप्लीट करके तुम दे नहीं सकते.
और वही हुआ. अरे वही हुआ.
है बेसिक ट्रेनर एयरक्राफ्ट की शॉर्टेज है तो आपको शर्म नहीं आती है 70% ऑफ इंडियन आर्टिलरी और मिलिट्री इक्विपमेंट इज ऑब्सोलीट
The army has surrendered. Look at what people of India are asking. Our viewers today. Sajan is asking special session for what joy? What's the need for such a session? Mr. Rajagopalan is asking the question, is Congress trying to score political points through this negative narrative? Rakesh Kumar, opposition disrupts when parliament session takes place. Why waste taxpayers' money for a special session? Varun, Congress wants special session, but did they hold any when they were in power and 26/11 happened? Arun Thomas says, shouldn't the Congress first convince Sharad Pawar to bring him on board before they ask the BJP? Gaurang, when CDS has explained India's position, then why not a parliament session too? So, Ashwini, please answer.
Navika, nobody is ever parliament. Every single member of parliament has a power to demand for the parliament session. Nobody is ever parliament. And what we are asking is have a session in the parliament. Have session in the parliament. It's asked by 1 MP, 10 MP, 100 MP. Doesn't matter. Everyone is a people's representative.
But
and
convince
if there is demand
your alliance partners.
It doesn't matter who's there with or not, who's there, who's not there. What matters is nobody is ever parliament.
At a time,
has to be answered
at a time when India needs to stand together, even the India alliance can't stand together.
Just one line, Ashwini, just one line. Please be patient. Ashwini, after 1984 Sikh genocide, why didn't you have a parliament session?
We had in 1962. We had in 1962
Sir,
when Bajpayee.
2008 you didn't have, 1984 you didn't have, but 1962 we should follow.
That was also not one second.
Right
Ashwini,
after
Ashwini,
2011 happened.
I have not finished speaking. 1962 there was no
Is
special.
your home minister resigned?
One second. There was no special session.
Has Amit Shah resigned?
Please, can you want to get into
you
that?
You are
you
asking
want to get into that
selectively. Let me
domain,
ask
then,
selectively.
One second. I have not interrupted you. If you want to interrupt and derail the debate, that's a choice. Now let me ask you some questions. One second.
No, I'm not short of time.
5 seconds. Mumbai terror attack, no parliament session. 1991 economic crisis, no parliament session. 1984 Sikh genocide, no parliament session. Why? Why?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Operation Sindoor. Is the opposition's demand for a special parliament session justified? We did a quick survey on social media. Yes, say about 28.8%. No, 69.4% people. Literally nearly 70 versus 29. Can't say 1.8%. Overwhelming majority says no need for a special session. In any case, next month there is a session of parliament, the monsoon session of parliament. At a moment, the Operation Sindoor is still on. It has not ended. Why would the opposition not be on one page on this? And ladies and gentlemen, I also want to raise the very question that Mr. Rahul Gandhi raised today. Narendra Surrender, picking up a word from Trump to show the Indian army down. Is that justified? Did the Indian Defence Forces surrender to Pakistan, or did they make India proud? And did they put a completely precise terror attack as a copybook statement of how wars should be fought? The manner in which hostilities were suspended after Pakistan was brought down on its knees and they asked for cessation of hostilities. What is Mr. Rahul Gandhi trying to ask? And where are his alliance partners? If his alliance partners do not even support this demand of the Congress party, then what does it really mean in a parliament session? And when have they ever sat and attended and listened to answers in a parliament session? Remember Manipur, ladies and gentlemen? Let's leave it at that. Thank you very much to all my panelists for joining me on debate number 1.